Red Voyage News, splashing the check-in. Thank you for tuning in. Michael Rainey Jr. If you don't know who this guy is, he played Tariq on the Starz television show called Power. He's an actor, okay? He played the son of James St. Patrick, also known as Ghost, on Power, okay? He played his character very well. He's one of the most hated characters, if not the most hated character of all time. I think he was receiving death threats over how well he played his character, all right? 20 years old, okay? You know, I mean, he's young, but he's still an adult, okay? Once you hit the age of 18, you're still an adult. So I respect him as an adult, and I'm going to address this to him as an adult. I don't want to say, okay, he's young, he doesn't understand. No, he's an adult. He's not under the age of 18. But you grow as you get older. As you get older, you acquire more knowledge. You acquire a better understanding of things in life that you may not have foreseen at the age of 20 years old. Okay? So Michael Rainey Jr. calls Jay-Z, Swizz Beatz, and Timbaland sellouts. If you don't know Jay-Z, I mean, we all know who these three guys are. We all know who Jay-Z is, but Swizz Beatz and Timbaland, mega producers, super producers. Okay? Timbaland is one of my favorite producers, top 5 of all time. Okay? But we're talking about 2 millionaires and 1 billionaire here. All right? If you don't know what happened, Jay-Z, he sold his shares, a title to Jack Dorsey, okay, for like close to $300 million. And Swizz Beatz and Timbaland, if you don't know, those versus battles on Instagram, that's what they created. They created that. Okay, they're behind the versus battles. All right. So let's see what Michael Rainey Jr. said. So he called them sellouts on his Instagram page. Swizz Beatz and Timbaland sells verses to Triller. Can't ever just have something of our own. It's always about the money. Sellouts. Cool move, but these N-words still sellouts. And I feel the same way about Jay-Z selling titles, so don't come to me with that argument. All right? Now, I am not for what Mr. Rainey Jr. is saying right here. I do not feel that Jay-Z, Swizz Beatz, or Timbaland are sellouts. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? And in the article, it goes on to say that DJ Academics, he felt the same way about Jay-Z, about his deal. So, Michael Rainey Jr., he has the same opinion as DJ Academics. I never liked DJ Academics at all, but it is what it is. He does his thing. The reason why I don't agree with Michael Rainey Jr., and I know this is a small channel. This message will probably never get to him. But for those who's listening, the reason why I don't agree with Michael Rainey Jr. is because businesses like Tidal and Versus aren't worth losing your life over. Okay, especially when you have children, when you got a family. All right, it's not worth losing your life over. When those in the dominant society see that you're self-made, okay, they see the potential wealth in something that you built from the ground up, and they offer you a deal. You can negotiate that deal, but if you don't, they're going to get whatever it is that they're trying to acquire from you. They're going to get that whether you like it or not. They're going to get that regardless, those in the dominant society. You know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like Fleece Johnson. It's like, hey, we could do this the easy way, or we could do this the hard way. The choice is yours. All right, you can walk away with the money, or you seen what's happened in the past. All right, holding on to things like Tidal Versus is not worth losing your life over. And a lot of people might say, "Hey, well, that's not even that serious." Okay. The thing is we've seen in the past Black business owners who've built companies from the ground up that gain traction, notoriety, fame, fortune, a following, people supporting them. A lot of times they mysteriously lose their lives. Okay. And then somebody non-Black comes around and somehow they get a hold of the company. They ended up owning the company. Like World Star Hip Hop. That was started by Q, an Haitian man. He mysteriously passed away. Now, people that aren't even black own World Star Hip Hop. All right. I mean, I can name a list of names. I mean, the names could go on and on and on. I'll be here all day, but you know what I'm talking about, right? If that were to happen, when Jay-Z, Swizz Beatz, and Timbaland wanted to hold on to every black business, because either they end up, something mysteriously bad happens to them, or their businesses end up getting sabotaged. Okay. Some charges out of nowhere get placed on them. They're being falsely accused of things that they did not do. Okay. Are people like Mr. Michael Rainey Jr. going to come to their defense and fight to hold on to their business? What are they going to do? When a black owner doesn't take a deal, he's like, no, I'm going to hold on to what's mine. I'm going to hold on to my publishing. I'm going to hold on to this business. I'm going to hold on to this invention. I'm going to hold on to this, that, and the third. They end up mysteriously losing their lives in a mysterious way. And people like Michael Rainey Jr. don't do shit. The only thing they do is get up on social media and write, hey, damn, this is a sad day. He was for the people, R.I.P. You don't try to fight for his family to own that business. You don't do your research. You don't fly to their hometown and speak with the family and make sure, no, we're going to make sure this business gets to you. People like Michael Rainey Jr. doesn't gather other blacks in order to get the rights to this business over back to the family. Make sure that, hey, no, this is going to be generational wealth for them. This is for the community. This is for their children. This is for their family. He don't do shit. Excuse me. He wouldn't do shit. People like him would not do shit. So I don't know why people get upset when they see Jay-Z, Swizz Beatz, or Timbaland selling off their business. See, the thing is, Michael, he's never touched $1 billion. He's never touched millions, I don't think. Not on the level of Swizz Beatz and Timbaland. And I'm happy for his success. I think, within the next 10 years, I think Michael Rainey Jr., if he keeps going, he could be on the level of a Michael B. Jordan. He's just too young right now. He's 20 years old. Okay. They don't want you to play that sex symbol one at a, because, black folks, it's one at a time. They don't want somebody, 20 is too young to be like a black sex symbol in Hollywood. Like you got to be in your 30s, late 20s. He's too young. Pause. I'm not looking at him like that, but you see what I'm saying? I see him within the next 10 years. If he keeps going, I could see him in that Michael B. Jordan role, that position there. That's how much confidence I have within him, within his career. But the thing is, I got to be objective here. Black people don't put their lives on the line for what's right. Okay. A lot of black folks just go along to get along. And it's like, hey, you know what? Ain't shit we could do about it. That's just the way it is. We have that's just the way it is mentality. So knowing that people that look like him in the past who've lost their lives because they didn't want to take the deal and you're not going to do anything about it, you shouldn't say anything at all. Sell the goddamn business. Sell off your publishing. Give all your rights. If I could trade my entire catalog for $1 billion or $750 million, I'm going to take the money. Okay, I'm going to take the money because, yes, you should aim for ownership. You should hold on to your publishing. You should hold on to everything that's yours. But when you fight for stuff like that and then something mysteriously happens to you, then nothing really goes to your family anyway. And it goes right back to those in the dominant society that wanted whatever it is that you had in the first place, and your family gets nothing. See, the name of the game is, man, it's like we're allowed, we have the privilege of having money, but we don't have the privilege of acquiring wealth, having wealth. you know, he's young. He's probably one of those cats that'll just argue and argue. No, man, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. No, this is ours. We need to. They go on and on and on about that. But when push come to shove, and if it was him in that position, he'd be like, man, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? Talking about we can't have nothing. I bet this motherfucker ain't never signed up for title. I want to see if he's so much concerned over Jay-Z selling off title. I want to see your title subscription. Show us receipts. Show us receipts. Show us how long you were a subscriber of title. Okay. Show us an email. Show us some emails. If not, shut the fuck up. You know, and until everybody gets on code, I don't want to hear nobody complaining about how somebody made money off of selling their company off to somebody who offered them a deal. Because if something happens to them, you're not going to make sure their family's straight. Splash, man. I'm over and I'm out. Peace.